Hello, this is Barron Essential Words for IELTS, Unit 5, Text 1. On the left-hand side, we have a text which concerns migration. On the right-hand side, we have questions related to this text. Let's read the task. Answer the questions about nurse migration. Questions 1 to 6. Complete the summary using the list of words below. So, we have here a list of words and 6 missed words and the 9 given words, and the 6 of them have to be used by us. So let's see the first sentence. The something of nurses in developing nations is largely caused by nurses leaving their countries to work somewhere or somehow. Let's highlight keywords. So we're saying about nurses in developing countries, largely caused by nurses leaving their countries. Let's highlight the keyword leaving. So let's go to the text and let's try to find some information about nurses. So in the first sentence we have as a word nurses, but nothing about the reason or why the reason, and this any other cause why they are leaving their countries. Let's go further and let's try to find some information about nurses. And so here we have a word nurse migration, which is literally the synonym of saying nurses leaving their countries. And let's see the text. This is sentence exactly. In developing nations, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and Latin America, a major reason for the shortage in nurse migration to developed countries in Europe and North America, as well as Australia, to help fill vacancies there. So the shortage of them is caused, developed nations is largely caused by nurses leaving their countries. So the answer to the first question is going to be shortage. And their countries to work where, but they were saying about a couple of countries. Even when we go further, we have this sentence where they're saying about the Philippines have for years trained many more nurses than the country needs, with thousands working abroad and sending money to relatives back home. Here we have the sentence that they are working abroad, and we can use this word as well here, but logically you can think that since they are listing all of these developed countries, Europe, North America and Australia, we can just use abroad because they work abroad, all of these countries. So let's go further. It is difficult for poor nations to retain their nurses because better salaries and living conditions something many nurses to work in wealthy countries. So I want to highlight the keyword nurses because it is about nurses whole text about nurses, and we will get confused and we will not focus on our keywords. Let's highlight the real keywords, which is better salaries and the living conditions. So let's go first and let's try to find some information about the salary. Since we have answer in the first and the second paragraph, let's go further and let's try to find any information about better life for the nurses. So on the fourth paragraph, we have some information about high salaries and the better quality of life. Let's read the sentence. Lured by the higher salaries and the better quality of life available in wealthy countries, nurses from developing countries frequently leave behind already overburdened healthcare system, where nurses are often the primary caregivers because doctors too are in short supply. So they were lured by higher salaries. So answer to this third missed word in the third sentence it's going to be lure. Now let's go further. When nurses migrate to other countries, there are fewer, let's highlight the keyword fewer, health caregivers left in their own countries. So let's try to find, so they were left, fewer left in their countries when nurses migrate to other countries. So let's go further of the fourth paragraph and let's try to find information about this why fewer nurses. And here we have some information about the nurses. conditions and deteriorate further as the nurse to population ratio reclines, a number that is estimated to 10 times higher in European than in African countries. Assistant nurses who have only rudimentary training. So basically they were saying about nurse to population ratio, and they were saying that so for sure they are less qualified. So answer, so most of qualified people are leaving their countries, nurses, and fewer qualified healthcare givers are staying in their own countries. It's logically because they don't say it directly in the text, unfortunately. Let's go further. The lack of trained doctors as well as nurses means that healthcare is often something by workers who have only some kind of skills. So let's highlight keywords. The lack of trained doctors is caused by workers who have only, we are saying about workers who have some skills. Let's try to find some information about the skills and about the doctors. So let's go further. We have some information about doctors and about shortage of the nurses. Here it says some Latin American countries are experiencing such a shortage of nurses that doctors actually outnumber them, leaving the bulk of healthcare up to the assistant nurses who have only rudimentary training. So rudimentary training, it means they have rudimentary skills. It's going to be answer to the sixth question, and is often like carried out, so administered by these workers who has less skills. So let's go further. Let's read the task. Questions 7 to 8. Do the following statements agree with information in the reading passage? True, false, or not given? So let's read the first sentence. Okay. The primary reason for the nursing shortage in developed countries is the healthcare needs. So healthcare needs of the aging population. Nurses shortage it has happened in developed countries. So let's highlight keywords: nursing shortage, and in developed countries. Where exactly? So in developed countries. So needs of aging population. So since we have answers in all of this paragraph, let's scan further because we didn't see any aging population mentioned above. So here we're saying about in developed countries and nursing shortage and aging population. Let's read this. Let's highlight keywords, and let's try to read the sentence. In developed countries in Europe and North America, the nursing shortage largely stems from an aging population who require more healthcare service, coupled with a dwindling supply of nurses, many of whom are likewise nearing retirement age, with fewer young people preparing to replace them. So they were saying the truth. It's gonna be true. So it's in that way. So let's read the following sentence. There is not a large enough supply of qualified applicants for nursing school in the United States. So our main keyword here is gonna be United States for sure. And let's read. Let's scan here and try to find some information about United States. Here they were saying about United States, and I guess this is the only sentence which is mentioning about United States. Let's read it. In the United States, nursing schools turn down thousands of qualified applicants every year because of their own shortage of nursing faculty. They are struggling because of shortage of nursing faculty, of qualified applicants for nursing students. There is not a large enough supply, so this is not true. This is definitely false because they don't have enough nursing faculty, and this is a main cause of this issue. Let's make it false, and let's read the last sentence. In the United Kingdom, a high percentage of nurses have retired during the past 2 decades. So my keyword is United Kingdom, and it's already highlighted. Let's try to find here in the text. We have only, as in case of United States, only one sentence about United Kingdom. The United Kingdom, for example, still feels the effect of a cutback in the nurse training some 20 years ago. So let's say it that way. There's no information about United Kingdom, and we even can just check from the sentence above, and as they were saying about common threat among nurse importing countries, under investment in nursing education dating back 2 or more decades has prevented them from creating a stable workforce to meet current and future needs. So they were not saying about high percentage of nurses leave because of the retirement. So the answer to this question is going to be not given. So I can do it that way. So I'm gonna put it here, that it's not given here. So anyways, this is our answer. Answer to the 9th question is gonna be not given because we don't have this information. We don't have to make it up in case we don't have it, and we have the only sentence about United Kingdom. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So have a good time, take care of yourself, and I wish you good luck on your IELTS exam.